All right, YouTube, 106 Falconer, back with another fucking exciting ass video. Back working on this old house. At my previous video, got this PVC tiled ceiling done. Now I'm putting up 5 1/4 inch MDF crown molding. It's going in nice, coping it. So both ends are just ran straight across. The long runs are coped. It's turning out pretty much really good, except for this piece right here. Junior the second wasn't able to make it over Sunday, so my upstairs tenant there, I plied him with some alcohol, you know, Bush beer, and the offer of a carton of cigarettes next time I hit the res. So he came in and helped me put this crown up here. This first piece went up nice, went up tits. Second piece that laps over the first one there to 45. Measured it up, cut it, coped it, did one cut on there. We brought it in, dry fit it. I was on the cope end, he was on the lap end, and he was like, oh man, that thing fits perfect. And being on the cope end over here, if you look down, it looks like it's freaking tits, man. But so I said, all right, so we snotted up the nailers. I started popping pins in here, handed him the nailer. He finished popping pins in over there. Then when I get down, I can see this like abrupt angle coming down where the two join, and it goes down and then boof up that way. So then I come over here and look, and we're like a 1/16 too long. So that's not a real good joint. I'll sand it down, you know, little caulk, you know, whatever. Wife thinks it looks like $1 million, so I don't give a shit. That would drive me nuts. If I was doing this for somebody getting paid for it, I'd pull that shit down and do it right. Anyways, but I'm not going to. So now I got these two pieces left here to put up. I've already cut and coped one of them, which I'll show you video. Got the nailers all glued up. All right, they're up set real nice. I made these out of 2x4. It took one 2x4x8 to make all the nailers to go around. This room's 12 by 21. I put these every 2 feet. There, and there. This one here, I did about every 2.5 feet because I got this hard ass paneling that the old lady wants to keep up, but I'll be able to pop a couple pins in there hopefully, because that shit is hard as hell. So with these, on these nailers, I ran a curve down there, and then on the wall where I'm going to stick them up, I pop in. Been using the 1/4 inch Harbor Freight's best Chinese 1/4 inch drill bit there. 1/4 inch drill bit. Just pop a couple holes in. Ay. Son of a bitch. I can tell you, that shit's hard, man. Holy crap. Then, and that shit there. And I get my razor knife and clean the, just get the burrs off of there so that them nailers will sit as flat as possible. That ain't freaking working good. It's too fucking dark, man. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh. Alright, anyway, so I got my 2 holes. And we'll throw a little snot in there. Alright, a little snot in each hole. Get a little stuck there. Shit. I got my tube turned the wrong fucking way. The fuck is going on here, man? I gotta get my angle down. My angle. What a pain in the ass. See what I do for you people? I could be happily just drinking a beer and working at this like I usually do. Alright. So now we'll throw some snot on this one. Get it in that curve. Come on. A little more on each side. So it all bonds together. Blammo. You use me like a $2 hooker. Alright. Now we want to set this up here. Smush it real good into the wall. And then just run it up so it just touches. And you're good. Then throw your little level on, check for plumb. That's good. And that's it, man. Set it and forget it. Pop a couple holes in, snot it up. Then snot this up, get it down in that kerf. Then a couple on each side. Push the freaking thing into the wall. And then get it up so it just touches the ceiling tile. So it's not putting any pressure, it's just touching it. And then setting them and forgetting them, letting them dry. So these are ready to be shot up. As you can see, you know, with these, I've never done a PVC tile, never done a freaking decorative ceiling like this, extruded or 3-dimensional or whatever you want to call it. So, you know, you got, you know, your crown molding doesn't sit tight all the way across. So that's why I wanted nailers up there, because I didn't want to push up on that shit. Never done this before, so never worked with MDF molding. Kind of sucks, but hey, whatever. It's cheap and easy. So one thing I did learn, gluing these nailers up where there's joint compound, you have to take a damp sponge and go over the joint compound, and then stick your nailer on when it's still damp. I mean, even though this joint, there's never been any sanding done. Junior II's doing this, and you can see that there's a teeny weeny bit of dust. That little teeny weeny bit of dust right there will make them nailers not stick. What happened is the nailer here and the nailer over there went to put the molding up, and they were just dangling in there. So on a positive note, my 2 little 1/4-inch holes that I filled with snot and then put the rest of the shit on top of that, they held in it. When I pulled the nailers off, they looked like they had little glued dowels on them. So, but anyways, so I took a damp sponge, went over it, freaking glued 2 new nailers up, and bam, man, that they stuck like glue. So that's good to go. So if you're gonna do it over a fresh wall, make sure you damp sponge it first, and to get that little microscopic layer of of dust off of there. Otherwise, it will not stick. Over here, they're stuck like freaking glue. On the paper, they stuck like glue. So just the drywall stuff. Other than that, man, it's like I say, you know, you run them nailers so they just touch the tiles, and cope it. I don't want to try 45 in this old ass house, man, because you never know what you're gonna run into. So, but that's it, man. It's turned out pretty cool. It's gonna look good. Whenever Junior second comes over, I just gotta hang these last couple freaking pieces, and I can do baseboard and get a floor and freaking get somebody in here to paint this shit. Be done with it. So, all right. Well, enjoy the coping part. See ya, bitches. All right, YouTube. So I'm outside. I'm going to cut this 12-footer here. This MDF crown. As you can see, it's like working with a freaking wet noodle. I'm flat cutting it. Now, typically, I'll just do this real quick on these compound miters. This is just a single. It's not a dual bevel, single bevel. But the 33.9 degree mark and the 31.6 degree mark right there, that is typically if you're flat cutting crown molding to get a 45 degree angle, whether it's a inner angle or outer angle, or inner corner or outer corner, so, or inside corner, outside corner, whatever. But for me, 35 degrees is working good for me for this house. As far as the angle goes, I'm still leaving it at the angle there. I mean, that don't, you know, whatever. So let me cut this, and we'll cope it here real quick. Be back. All right, so I got the angle cut. Now this piece here is going to go in the right, to the right as you're looking at the wall. So I'm going to mark this with a pencil, just to have a more bold line. You don't really have to do it when you're using this pre-primed stuff. This is more for if you're using just natural wood, you know, something that doesn't have any, there's no, you know, if there's no contrast between your miter and your face, you know, just so you don't you know, fuck things up like I'm doing, drawing pencil lines all over the freaking place. Yeah, whatever, who gives a crap. All right, bam, good enough. Good enough for the government. All right, so I'm going to be coping with this 1/4 inch metal wheel. This thing works really good on MDF because a coping saw doesn't work worth a crap on this MDF. At least it doesn't for me. So this 1/4 inch wheel here does good because it doesn't dig right in, you know, zoom like a skinny wheel would. So let's cope this bitch and be done with it. Set the camera down. Well, you should be able to see me somewhat. Yeah, doing this takes a little longer than if you're using a coping saw, but it's just so much easier. Let me set the camera over here because I gotta be working on the right side here. I got the camera sitting on a trash can. Ha ha ha. All right, so man, these fucking bees. Once you get your line done, then you can see I gotta thin that down a little bit more, but then you just hog out the bottom like so. Just is gonna get hogged out more. Anyways, all right, I'll do a little bit more. Well, I'm gonna fast forward through this shit anyway, so. All right, as you can see, it's coming. I gotta clean that up a little bit, kind of hit that a little heavy, but like I said, I'm going for caulk good on this. This is gonna fit nice and tight. So let me get that done, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I got it caulk good. I'll show you here. I mean, probably could use a little more cleaning up under there. Little thick here. You want to get this edge as thin as possible. So you just take a piece of scrap, and you set it on there, and you can see your joint. We're good there. Yeah. Anyways, it's better to do it two-handed. So then you can see how your joint fits, and you know, like I say, if you're doing caulk, then you know you can call it caulk good. If you're doing stain, you want to work on it a little more, you know, have at it. But you're not going to be doing stain on MDF. If you're doing stain, it's going to be hardwood or pine, solid pine too, not finger jointed. So then you can take like a little rasp or something and clean it up. So, but with this MDF, that's good right there. Now cutting the one for the right corner, you cut it this way. You cut it paint up on its back. This is the bottom, of course. If you want to do the left side, you got to paint it, or you got to paint it. You got to cut it upside down. If you have just a single bevel saw like this, cut it upside down at the 35 degrees or whatever, or if you're using the 31.6, just cut it upside down, and that'll give you that cut right there. All right, YouTube. So got this wall up, got the crown up on this side. Turned out freaking sweet. Junior the second finally freaking showed up. Took us about a half hour to make the 45s, dry fit it, cut it. Now this piece here that laps over that one, we dry fit it 3 times, just shaving a little C hair off each time. And you see, when you take your time, it freaking come out nice. Now the bottom isn't as tight as the top, but that's because the ceiling goes down. But a little spackle in there, and that freaking thing's gonna look tits. It looks nice and straight. First thing he noticed when he came in was that. He wanted to pull that down, but shit, if we pull that down, fucking paper's gonna come off the drywall, you know, all that shit. So that's just gonna get sanded down. I'm gonna put a little piece of hard cardboard up top and try to build up that little gap with some spackle. Just kind of blend it in a little bit. Got a painter coming tomorrow to look. I still got to do baseboard and this and that, but no. So that coping works out nice. Take your time, freaking easy peasy. lemon squeezy. So that's it. But you need 2 people to do this freaking MDF shit. So, all right, well, that's it, man. Any questions? Whatever. Bitches.